I was talking to my daughter last week, and she brought up an interesting question I thought we'd go ahead and address today. She asked, what are the unique emotional needs of men? And as I've thought about that, I've thought there's a lot of ways that we could go about discussing this conversation or this question. And I thought I'd break it down to like three things that are emotional needs of men, probably the top three. And as I've kind of dug around and done some research, pretty regular and consistent data shows that these first three are pretty high on the list of men for emotion needs. If we haven't met before, my name's Alex Franks, and I want to address three things that men need emotionally. And the first of these is trust. Men identify that their number one emotion need is trust. They need to feel trusted, trustworthy. They need to know that their partners believe in them, trust in them, and see them as honest and trying their best. One of the things that gets relationships going kind of sideways is that when you say you trust your partner, especially if a wife, a girlfriend says she trusts her partner, and then there's one question, then another, then another, and another. And what happens is the women involved will often wonder, well, I was just asking a question, why did we end up in this huge confrontation or this huge disagreement? And the reality is, a lot of times what happened was the man's emotional need of trust was being eroded question by question, and then he has a defensive reaction. I'm not saying that you just blindly follow someone. What I'm saying is that if women could remember that men's first need is to be believed in, that he's giving the best of his abilities to this situation, that he's thought through different scenarios and different thoughts, not to be blindly followed, but to be sensitive that trust is a significant need for a man, then your relationship tends to be better. It's understanding that in a relationship, a man's feeling trusted when he knows or believes that his partner thinks the best of him, that the partner knows he's doing everything he can to be good in the relationship. If that makes sense. And good might be a judgment word, but it's more of the concept that the man's trying his best to take care of things. The relationship tends to work better. The second need that men have is men have a unique need to feel acceptance. It's an interesting thing when you think about how men and women see relationships and see each other. Is it's been said that men see someone who meets their needs, makes them feel at peace, makes them, I don't know, in some way the best them they can be, and then they choose a lifetime with that person. They marry that person. On the same token, it's said that women see their partner and see their potential, and they marry the potential. They marry the good things they see in that person. They marry what could be. And then I believe that a woman's natural instincts of nurturing, taking care of, developing, that makes great moms, well, then it turns into being somebody who's never satisfied or happy with the man that they have. And I think this is a core problem in a lot of relationships. It's definitely a struggle for men. Is men marry someone and believe that they're wonderful just the way they are, where women's subconscious marries somebody that wants to get somewhere. And so women do a lot of criticisms, a lot of you're not good enough, where if a man feels accepted, that he's okay, that I don't know, that what he does is enough, then that man is much more likely to flourish, and the relationship's going to flourish along with it. Acceptance isn't a process of not working on something. Acceptance is a process of going, he's a pretty solid guy the way he is, and so I don't need to criticize too much. I don't need to put him down. I fell for the guy he is, maybe the guy he was, and if I can let him tap into that a little more, our relationship might be better. The third thing that men need is a feeling of being appreciated. This is one of the hardest ones for men to talk about. It's one of the things that brings up long-term hurt for couples. Appreciation. Appreciation isn't just thank you for every single little thing, but men go through a life with super high expectations. I think expectations that most women don't even know that us men go through. Our bosses expect us to perform or we're not getting paid. Our families expect there to be money and providing, food, all the cares met, vehicles run, there's gas in the gas tank, bills are paid. It's all expected. I'm expected to be at all the ball games. I'm expected to give my best. I'm expected to work hard. I'm expected. And very rarely is the word thank you mentioned. It's interesting that men often respond best when they know that their people absolutely appreciate, are joyful, are thankful for the efforts. It's just like when we were talking about issue number 2, acceptance. That wife who may nag 20 times, and no offense for the word nag, take out the trash. Why can't you take out the trash? Why can't you take out the trash? They're often the same wife that never once says thank you when it's empty. Never once says, I appreciate you so much when you've helped me clean the kitchen. I watched a couple on TV the other day, and it made me think about this concept of appreciation. The man was loading the dishwasher after a nice meal, and the kids were playing in the other room, and he put 5 or 6 different plates in the dishwasher, and the next thing you know, his wife kind of sighed, rolled her eyes, and then went, I don't know why you can't figure this out. And then she reloaded the 5 plates in the bottom of the dishwasher. And it just made me think as I watched, even though it was a TV show, I watched the man kind of defeated, and he threw the towel on the counter and then rinsed a couple more dishes. And it made me think about, that's maybe not so much a TV show as it is a reflection of what our life can be in a relationship. That wife on that TV show never thought about thanking him for helping in the kitchen. She never said a word about him rinsing the dishes. And maybe it's only fair that men and women share responsibilities, or maybe she missed a perfect opportunity to boost her husband up to where he'd want to do even more. I do know this, if in that same show that man didn't ever help in the kitchen, that it would not be a very kind and good thing. And I know that she'd have a lot more criticism for no help, except for what she's really doing is teaching him not to help because it's not worth the hassle or her disapproval. So in relationships, for men, make sure you boost up a man feeling trusted, good enough, that you value that. Accept the man for who he is, number 2. Remember that you fell for a certain person and that he's slowly going to grow throughout the relationship, but that your vision of what he is may not be what he will be, but what he will be wonderful all on its own. And the last one is take the time to show a little more appreciation to men. We don't get much of it. And so it's a powerful tool when it's used, because a man will go through a brick wall for people who appreciate him. But a man will slowly pull away and hide from those who don't. And that's often a good judge in your relationship. If your man is getting more silent, if he's feeling a little more withdrawn, if he's not as connected in the family as he might have been, if you're seeing a little more moodiness than you did before, it may be a time to check and see, am I providing him feelings of being trusted? Am I accepting him for who he is and his unique character? Am I appreciating him and making sure he sees it, feels it, hears it? It goes a long way. If you gain something from this content, please like, comment, subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. And remember, our goal is to serve others, care deeply, love our people. And if you got a question, why not ask?